What is high powered money? Now, high powered money is defined as the sum of currency with the public and the reserves. Okay, so it is given over here. High powered money is equals to the currency with the public plus reserve. It is also known as the monetary base. Okay, and over here this reserve can be of two types: required reserve and excess reserve. Okay, now what is required reserve and what is excess reserve? Suppose say you go to a bank to deposit a sum of 100 rupees. Okay, this is your demand deposit. Now according to the RBI guidelines, the commercial bank needs to keep 10% of your demand deposit as reserve. Okay, so what he will do, he will keep 10 rupees. Commercial bank will keep 10 rupees as reserve. This is required reserve. This reserve has been determined due to the law given by the central bank. However, the commercial bank may choose to keep 10 rupees as a reserve or 10% of his deposit as reserve, or it may choose to keep more than this 10% as his reserve. He may choose to keep say 15% of his deposit as reserve. Now out of this 15%, 10% is made mandatory by the order of the central bank, and the rest 5% he is keeping according to his wish. So this excess 5% is known as excess reserve. Okay, and this 10% is basically the required reserve, because it is made mandatory to keep 10% of your deposit as reserve by the law of the central bank. Okay, now comes the definition part. These reserves are a fixed proportion of the demand deposit. Okay, so the size of your reserve depends on the rate, or this R. Okay, now this R basically shows what proportion of your demand deposit you are keeping in form of reserve. If your demand deposit is 100 say, and your R value is 10%, then that means you are keeping 10 rupees as your reserve. If your demand deposit is 100 again, and you keep and your R is equals to 5%, then you are keeping 5 rupees as a reserve. So the value of R determines the size of your capital R. The value of this proportion or this percentage determines the size of your reserve. Okay, now let us move to the determination of the equilibrium level of money supply. Now the equilibrium level of money supply is determined by the intersection between the demand of high powered money and the supply of high powered money. Now the supply of high powered money is given here by an horizontal straight line. Now this horizontal straight line shows that the supply of high powered money is constant. This is because the supply of high powered money is exogenously given or is controlled by the central bank of any country. Okay, and it does not react with any other variable. So the supply of high powered money is depicted by a constant line. Then comes this line. This line is basically the demand for high powered money. Okay, now the intersection point between these two lines occur over here, and this is the equilibrium, initial equilibrium. Now corresponding to the initial equilibrium, we have this level of money supply. So M naught is the equilibrium level of money supply, and it is determined by the intersection of supply of high powered money curve and the demand curve of demand of high powered money curve. Okay, now assume that the central bank chooses to increase the supply of high powered money. Okay, this is shown by a shift in this curve from HS to HS1. So the shift in the supply of an increase in the supply of high powered money shifts your equilibrium over here, and corresponding level of equilibrium level of money supply also increases to M1. Okay, similarly if the central bank chooses to decrease the money supply, okay, so it will shift below from the initial position, and your equilibrium level of money supply will go down or will get reduced. Okay, so what do we see? That the supply of high powered money shares a positive relationship with the equilibrium level of money supply. If the supply of high powered money increases, then the supply of then the money supply, equilibrium money supply, also increases. If the supply of high powered money decreases, then the equilibrium level of money supply decreases. All these are occurring keeping the demand for high powered money constant. Similar analysis can be done keeping the supply constant and varying the demands. So I will leave that part to you. Just analyze it diagrammatically and see how the equilibrium level of money supply reacts with change in the demand for high powered money. Okay, try it out. If you face difficulty, I will discuss it in the next class. Okay, then in this chapter we again have another topic that is money supply. So in case of money supply, I will suggest you to go through your HS notes consisting of the definition regarding what are the different measures of money supply. You have already studied that money supply can be measured in 4 ways, and those ways are M1, M2, M3 and M4. So what are the components of money supply? So please go through those notes. It will be very helpful. Now I will jump to the money multiplier, the concept of money multiplier and how it is derived. Okay, so money multiplier is basically defined as the ratio between money supply and high powered money. Okay, so money multiplier is represented by small m, or you can represent it with any other letter, say small k or anything, but use small letter. Okay, however whatever symbol or letter you use, you should mention that this is money multiplier. Okay, and so what we have established till now, that money multiplier is basically shown by the ratio of money supply and high powered money, and money supply is defined as C plus D. That means currency with the public plus demand deposit. This I hope that you remember, you have done this in your HS classes. Okay, and this is basically the definition of M1. Simple. Then we have high powered money, and high powered money is defined as currency with the public plus reserve. We have already done in the last page. Okay, now what we will do, we will divide this 1 by 2. Okay, now we have divided over here, and then we will divide the numerator and denominator with D. Okay, see, we are dividing the both numerator and denominator with D. So this D and D will get cancelled out, and we are left with this C by D ratio, and this R by D ratio. Now this C by D ratio can be represented by a small c. Okay, and this R by D ratio can be represented by a small r. Okay, now this C by D ratio is basically known as currency deposit ratio. See, currency deposit ratio, and this R by D is known as reserve deposit ratio. Okay, so we have this equation where money supply divided by high powered money equals to this ratio. Okay, now what we will do, we will cross multiply the thing. We will bring h on this side using the cross multiplication, and then what we will do, we will we will denote this ratio by a letter small m. So this ratio is basically your money multiplier, and the relationship between high powered money and money supply is given by this equation. Okay, so money supply is basically equals to money multiplier into high powered money. Now thus the size of money supply depends upon the size of high powered money, and also upon this value of money multiplier. Suppose it is given that money multiplier, the value of money multiplier is 1.5 and H is equals to 200, high powered money is equal to 200. Then what will be the money supply? If you multiply this, both the terms or both the values, you will get 300. So if you are given the value of money multiplier and high powered money, you can easily find out the value of money supply. Similarly, if you know the value of any of the two terms, then you can find out the third term. Okay.